Hi guys, and welcome to a new video on Byte a Geek. Today I'm taking a look at the MSI B550-A PRO motherboard. It's one of the new B550 motherboards on the market, and it's something that's at the lower price bracket range, and this is going to form part of my new system build. So I'm going to get this unboxed and give you a bit of a tour of the motherboard and give you my thoughts on it. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so here we have the MSI B550-A PRO. So this is a socket AM4 motherboard, and it's obviously one of the new generation of motherboards that sits between the B450 and the X570 platform. It's PCIe 4.0 ready. It's got a whole bunch of other features on it, but importantly it's at a budget price range, I guess. It's not rock bottom, but it sits between some of the higher end B550 boards and ultimately some of the bare bones basic ones. So what I'll do is we'll get this unboxed, we'll take a look at some of the features on the motherboard, and I'll give you my general thought on it. So obviously, first off, we've got the motherboard, which has got quite a nice weight to that. We'll have a look at that in a second. We'll just see what else we've got inside the box. Take that out. So we've got standard I/O shield, a couple of SATA cables, driver, disk and utilities, some screws which will be for the M.2 slots, nice badge to go on your case, and then we've got thank you note there, and join the MSI reward program, and little notice there about case standoffs and where to ensure that they sit. And then you've got the installation guide, so yeah, with links to YouTube. So that's fairly straightforward. No great big manual or anything like that from what I can see. So it's not a super expensive motherboard. It was just under £145 from Amazon. So I'll put a link down below in the description if you guys want to pick one up. And obviously, you know, at this price point, you're not expected to be getting Wi-Fi and lots of accessories in the box on this. You know, this pretty much does the job that I need it for. So these are the factors you need to take into account when you're buying one of these boards. They've ultimately not turned out as being as cheap as everybody thought they were going to be, but you know, you make it as expensive as you want to go really on the features on the motherboard. There are some crazy motherboards out there at the moment, you know, that are £200 for a B550 motherboard, and you know, you've really got to ask yourself the question: do you need all of that functionality? Let's just get these bits out of the way and we'll unwrap the motherboard and take a look at that. So let's say this is some weight that we've got here. Okay, so first thing to note really is I personally think this is a really nice, attractive looking board. It's all in black, a couple of silver grey highlights on the motherboard, but you know, it's not stacked full of RGB or anything like that. Okay, so let's just have a look on the back of the board at the ports that are available. So we've got a BIOS flash button there over on the left hand side. We've got a couple of USB 2.0 ports, and a PS2 keyboard / mouse port there. We've got a display port and HDMI port, and then we've got another couple of USB 2 ports here, and then we've got Ethernet ports. This is just, according to the documentation, this is a 2.5 gig LAN port, but I will obviously be checking that out. And then you've got USB 3.2 ports. These are 3.2 Gen 1 ports, so you've got a couple of those. And then you've got USB 3.2 Gen 2, and you've got a Type-C there as well. And obviously you've got your HD audio connectors there. No optical connection on that, so that's one of the trade-offs you get on this particular board at the price point. Back of the motherboard, quite good. The motherboard's actually slightly sticky, which is interesting, but I guess that's just because it's so new. So back of the motherboard, you've got a back plate here, which is good to see, and obviously that little leaflet there that was talking about these standoffs here, so they've marked that out on the motherboard as well as that one there. So something to bear in mind on your case. Front of the motherboard, we've got 4 DIMM sockets there. We've got an RGB header over here. We've got our audio. We've got a fan here. We've got another fan header here. We've got USB connection here, and another one there, and another one there. So these are obviously going to be front-mounted USBs. Let's turn this around a little bit. You've got another fan header here, and you've got 6 starter ports on the front there as well. Another built-in USB port there, power connector, another fan. So then you've got your CPU fan, and then you've got what looks like another a water pump fan. In terms of fans and USB ports, you are quite well looked after on this motherboard, just in terms of everything else on the motherboard. So obviously you've got M.2 there with Heatsink on it. Your other M.2 is here, and you've got a couple of your PCI slots there, and the smaller one there. I think one of the things to note compared to the X570 is you don't have the fan to cool the chipset. So I know some people are concerned about that on the 570. That you've got the addition of a fan on the motherboard. Obviously, with the B550, that option has gone now. So you've got a nice chunky heatsink on there. Obviously, at the back here, you've got that extended heatsink as well. So it is designed to keep everything nice and cool. So just to go over kind of like the B550 side of things, I guess. Obviously, this is classed as a future motherboard. Along with the X570. If you watch my video, the AMD announcement, I put a little link up at the top there, a little card. This is where AMD see this platform going, that's supporting the AM4 going forward. And obviously, at the time when they made the announcement, they said, B550, X570, and that's what we're going to be pushing as your platform of choice. And some of you may be aware, there's been a little bit of a backtrack on that. Now they're saying that the B450 will support that with BIOS updates that manufacturers will put out on that. But I think if you're looking at getting a new motherboard, it's probably worth paying the slight premium for the 550 at the moment over the 450, because you get so much more over the 450 platform. And I guess you look at it as being, yes, you could go for the X570 and pay a little bit more again. There are downsides to the 570. The 550 platform gives you a lot of the good bits of the X570 platform, but it's just a good chunk of money cheaper. So, I think you have to take that into consideration. Obviously, if money is no object, then you just get yourself a 570, an X570, and be done with it. But if you're wanting to build a really budget PC, you would probably go for the 450 platform. If you're looking at that kind of mid-range, or you've got extra £50, $50 or whatever, I would say go with the 550 because of the additional stuff that you get on the board. Obviously, as I mentioned before, you haven't got that active cooling on there, so that's it sounds so trivial, but it is quite a positive. You think of how fans do actually fail over time. It's another thing to clean out as well. It's great that they've got rid of it and just put the heatsink on top of that. Obviously, over the 450 you've got PCIe Gen 4, so that is effectively double the bandwidth of Gen 3. So if you've got an NVMe Gen 4 drive that you're putting into the slot here, you're just going to get such a massive performance boost. The transfer rates are phenomenal on that, and that is something that I'll be looking to add on to this system in due course when I've kind of like restructured all my drives and everything. Obviously, the Gen 4 performance on the B550 platform, this is one of the differences between the 550 and the 570, is the performance is across the CPU and the primary slot, plus one of your M.2 slots. So you get that across multiple M.2 slots. So I'm looking at my PC at the moment, and I've got a graphics card in there, and this is absolutely ideal for me. Graphics card, M.2 slot, and CPU, so I'll get the full performance across all of that. But your situation might be different, and you need to bear that in mind. And a 570 motherboard might be more relevant for you, but it's something you should be aware of. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. What do you think of this? As I say, it's not a super expensive board, but I'd be interested to see what you think. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel, and any comments, any queries, anything like that, just pop them down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.